Welcome to what I guess we're going to officially call our inaugural episode, I guess, of this thing. The inaugural episode of The Real. Last week we had kind of like an episode 0 thing, sans one David Sorakonich, who is here today, by the way, so I'm just going to go around and introduce people. So Dave, say hi.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Brian, say hi.
Hi, I'm Carlos.
Oh, that's Carlos. We have Carlos sitting in for Brian today. I'm Leo.
And he's not a lion, don't worry about that.
Thank you for that segue opportunity.
Nor is he actually a Leo.
Yeah.
No, that's also
unfortunate.
True. That's true. I'm an Aquarius. My dad is a Leo in name, and my little brother is a Leo in star sign, though. So
Well, you've always been a little fishy to me.
something like that, yeah. We're gonna talk about giant animated jungle cats and the individuals that the black men, the beautiful black men that voice them. James Earl Jones is coming back to be Mufasa in The Lion King, and Donald Glover is going to be voicing Simba. Though I don't know what to do with this information.
I'm proud of Disney for getting James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Because I
definitely.
think that he was absolutely an integral part of.
Oh, they're
the
working
original
on
Lion
Mufasa without that, because he's still active. You know, I mean, hell, how pissed would the? I mean, this is all Disney at this point, which is a weird thing to think about. So it doesn't really matter. But I mean, he just reprised his Darth Vader role in Rogue One a year ago.
Although I don't know if you guys have the same criticism, but
What?
it's not even a criticism. It's just I was aware that he sounded more aged.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he sounds a little more aged.
At this point, because they have, I can't remember if James Earl Jones is the one doing the voice of Vader in Rebels or not. But the point, he's not. Yeah, that sounds more like Darth Vader than James Earl Jones did in Rogue One. Because they just have like a really, really talented and a very dedicated person taking on the voice of Darth Vader in Rebels. Sorry, where it means a little bit less to have the name attached to it, I suppose. But it's good to see him back for Mufasa. Hoping it's gonna sound the same.
Yeah.
There's a lot less effect or character, I guess, to the voice of Mufasa compared to Darth Vader.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a lot more of a
that.
natural voice than Darth Vader's did. So I feel like that
Darth Vader's channeling a lot more angst than
Oh,
Mufasa
yeah, absolutely.
would be.
Angst and destruction. Whereas
Angst is a
Mufasa's
good way to
like,
look at it. Yeah.
Mufasa's the king. He has to have that
He's the king.
sort of wise, worldly sort
Yeah.
of vibe to him, which is really just James Earl Jones as is.
Yeah, probably. James Earl Jones, I've heard, is actually a king.
And then Donald Glover. That's honestly, I'm amazed.
Yeah,
Like, he's getting a lot of work.
That's such a
and
weird
that's
thing
so
to think
great.
about.
Like, think about it. He's branching out. He's doing more than just Community and like his music. Like, he's really going out there, really putting effort, and I think it's awesome to see him on screen.
It's going to be interesting because I think that having Donald, because I assume this is going to be the adult Simba, obviously, right? I can't imagine they're going to have Donald Glover taking on the role of the little lion cub. But it's going to be interesting as far as the way that kind of represents Simba's age, really, because Matthew Broderick, right? Matthew Broderick as the voice of the adult Simba in the original animation was very distinctly adult, I feel like, where everybody kind of knows Matthew Broderick, as kind of Ferris Bueller. That's more of like a teenage role and everything, but I feel like his voice is very distinctly mature compared to Donald Glover. So it'll be interesting how they play with the way that character comes across in terms of age.
Now, the biggest question on my mind is who are they going to find for Scar? Because I think that Scar is a lot more important of a character to get very good voice talent for. I love Jeremy Irons as the original Scar. I feel like he's irreplaceable.
Why wouldn't they bring Jeremy Irons back?
But why wouldn't they announce that with?
I know it is a weird thing to think about because you're right. It is, even though it's not as iconic as Mufasa and James
It's
Earl
still
Jones,
like an integral
it's
part.
more important than Mufasa, I think. Getting the voice right on that one.
And are they going to make a musical out of this? Have they?
That's what I was going to ask.
They didn't do it with the Jungle Book. Jungle Book had.
Ooh, that's strange.
Jungle Book was very distinctly musicless, and it made this one. And I haven't seen the film. I've only seen this clip of it, and I know because this is a particularly kind of poignant moment. A particularly poignant moment in the film when Mowgli and Baloo are going down the river, and Mowgli's sitting on Baloo's stomach, and they're whistling Bare Necessities going down the river.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the closest that they had to the musical ties.
Yeah, but Lion King, it's been a Broadway musical.
Like Lion King's kind of
How are they
defined by
gonna-
its music.
How are they going to do that though? Because the point of these animated reimaginings or these CG reimaginings, I feel like, is to try to get it as realistic as possible, visually. I think, right?
I wouldn't say try to get it realistic as possible. I would
That was definitely what they were going for with the Jungle Book.
definitely say realism is a part of it, but I wouldn't say like the most realistic.
No, certainly not the most realistic, but I feel like the whole point of this is to try to make it just a little bit more weighty and a little bit more dramatic almost.
To really give more emphasis on kind of like the actual story that's happening. Too.
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm actually interested to see. Like, I don't think they're going to go like a musical route.
I don't think so either.
I
I really don't see it happening.
Which would be like a really big departure. Again, like you said, it's a Broadway musical
Yeah.
and a good one. If you ever watch it, please watch it.
But at the same time, like, what's the point in this even existing if they're not going to depart at all? You know? I
That's true.
Just if like, Disney animation doesn't age.
That's true.
You can still go back and watch The Lion King and The Jungle Book very easily. I think it's good that these depart.
I think this brings up another question of what they're going to do with Beauty and the Beast, because I haven't heard anything about them
Yeah.
keeping that a musical.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to think about because I almost feel like
Because that's as heavy with.
I think it's even
music
more
as
musically
it
heavy
is.
than The
Yeah,
Lion
that
King.
would.
I don't think it's as iconic musically as The Lion King, but I think it's more thematic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's more story tied, the music,
Mm-hmm.
compared to The Lion King. So that is going to be a thing to think about for sure.
And I mean, in like the teaser trailer, of course, they have the music from the original, just
Yeah, of course.
orchestrated.
Of
but
course.
It's like.
I can see that being the
Yeah.
thing that they do, where they do these kind of dramatic kind of reimaginings of original pieces and use them as like scoring as opposed to turning it into a musical.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I really see that happening. Them doing like, I don't even know, like big bombastic or orchestral renditions of classic Lion King and Beauty and the Beast songs, being the way that they go about this. I really can't see them having animals on screen singing and turning it into like an actual.
I
musical.
wish.
I
think
I mean,
that
that'd
sounds
be
really cool.
With CGI,
It's a-
that'd be like amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about it, man. Like
It would
it's
be
kind of an interesting thought, but
You see, I think it appeals to me and people in our age demographic just because we grew up with it and we think, oh, this is like really cool way to reinvigorate this whole movie that we all love.
But at the same time, if you think about it, they are reimagining it.
yeah,
And,
absolutely.
they really need to kind of break off, and like music is like it's one of the easiest ones to make that connections with, so that's what they have to cut first.
Yeah, and there's also like, just because I feel like they're trying to make these reimaginings much weightier than they did with the originals. Like, maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but that seemed to be one of the goals of the Jungle Book a little bit. Especially when you're looking at the villains of the Jungle Book, like Shere Khan was like terrifying in the way that they reimagined him in this, and so can't really think of a quicker way if it's not done correctly to really take somebody out of a moment of drama than adding in this kind of awkward, uncanny valley singing thing. I'm just having a hard time really seeing it work personally.
I'm just gonna say this.
I
I
don't
think there's a little too many like musical singing movies around. Like, come on, just you can cut it now. It's okay, Lion King. You can go dramatic.
Somebody is going to be like, I don't even know, wearing like a T-shirt for some random film and praying to God that La La Land doesn't win anything at the Oscars. Is that what you're trying to say right now?
Yes, right now. Yes.
Okay, got it. I just want to make sure that we're understanding each other.
We're understanding each other perfectly clear.
Perfect. It's good to see the way that they're bringing back all these voice casts. I'm curious because I feel like the two roles that I'm about to say don't necessarily have like a particular actor attached to them in the same way as Jeremy Irons and James Earl Jones are, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Timon and Pumbaa.
Oh, I had
yeah.
not thought about that.
Yeah,
Because I mean, their voices are
They're
just
very-
as iconic.
Yeah.
yeah,
pretty
they're
iconic.
really iconic voices. And the one weird thought that I have with this is that Timon and Pumbaa, visually and kind of vocally, are very animated compared to the rest of that film. I feel
Yeah, definitely.
like Timon and Pumbaa have super animated, really
Oh, yeah, it's
distinct,
'cause they're the comic
super
relief.
over the top voices. And it's going to be weird to see how they do comic relief in this. I mean, I'm not going to use the word gritty. That's taking a little bit too far.
Yeah.
Gritty. It's like, it is gritty.
Jesus, Mufasa's
This
got a gun.
gritty retelling.
I hope they choose like comedians or something to do those roles. I mean,
I'm
I
sure
would
there-
love the original.
There's gonna be,
cast.
yeah. I could actually see that getting a couple of picturing
It has
picturing
to be.
Bill Burr playing Timon with his Boston accent.
You need someone just super animated, someone who just walks on stage and says, "Hey guys, I just shit myself," and just goes.
Maybe with slightly less language. I don't think parents would be too keen on that.
Penis.
But yeah, that's a name that, or not like a name, just because I can't think of a particular actor. But those are two characters and two voices that I'm almost more curious about than the Scar question.
Mm-hmm.
This Simba and Mufasa needed to be like out the gate. That needed to be addressed. I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know about Simba so much. Simba's
Well,
just,
Maybe not Simba. No, you're right. That's Simba.
I think they just threw that in to be like, it's.
No, you're right. You're definitely. I agree.
I mean,
with that.
in one sense, yeah, like he is the main character. Like
He's also the least interesting character.
Yeah,
that's
he
true.
is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you think about the whole movie, like who's your favorite character? It's
Scar.
There you go. So Scar.
Scar is awesome.
Who got the TV show after the movie came out? Timon and Pumbaa.
Timon and Pumbaa.
So
Yeah.
Simba, I mean, like, yeah, great they have him covered, but he's not like the most.
Yeah, no, you're right. After I said that out loud, I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've done this one to death as much as we can, considering how, I guess, conceptual this is.
I
at the
thought we were
moment.
going to
Really,
devote
really,
this
really
whole
neat.
episode.
Oh, do we want to talk more about the Lion King?
We could get.
What do you want to talk about for the
sweaters.
Lion King, Dave?
I don't know.
Shoot.
Just you keep on talking
Keep
about
going. Okay.
minutia.
Minutia. So, I think the next thing that we're going to get the most out of is probably these two trailers that we have here. Gonna maybe do a pause in the recording. We're gonna watch one of them, talk about it for a little bit, and then do the same thing once more time. So, pause
Penis.
button. Penis, according to Brian. Thank you for that input. We'll be back with you in just a minute, or no time at all, if you're listening to this.
Cool. Because people are looking at us.
She's the monster.
And record button. We're back.
Hey.
Fucks with that movie.
Brian says that he could fucks with that movie. The
I mean,
movie being Colossal, by the way.
Yeah, honestly, like it had a really good sense. It had really good humor, like right off the bat. I didn't
Yeah.
feel like it was one of those like like heavy-handed sort of like here's a fucking joke. Like no, it's actually it built it up and it made a premise that's really scary, like monster coming in attacking the city, and like they put it like something great to it.
I can appreciate that, but part of me feels like it's kind of gimmicky and like
I
don't know how
I think
they'll
it's
be-
very gimmicky.
I don't know how they'll be able to stretch it out quality wise
That's
for like
true.
an hour and a half to 2.5 hours.
I think it's okay that they're going with such a gimmick just because it's such a weird gimmick. Like,
Exactly.
I have never seen anything like this before. The gimmick to this being that this random, like, I guess kind of boring, down to earth girl played by Anne Hathaway has this weird, like, physical connection to a giant monster that's attacking South Korea, where every single movement that she does gets mirrored by the monster, and kind of vice versa in a way where she's kind of feeling its pain.
It's kind of a nice twist on like that little monster genre where you're so used to seeing them just attack people.
Yeah.
You always ask why. Well, now you know why, because some person in the middle of the U.S. is just dancing around.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see too, just because I feel like with superhero movies and kind of this little bit of a resurgence, I feel like that we've been having with giant monster movies in like your Pacific Rims and your Godzillas and Shin Godzillas and all that. This topic of widespread like catastrophic destruction and kind of the impact that it has on people, where we went so long ignoring that question, and now all the superhero movies are bouncing back and talking about how you have killed my father, prepare to die, kind of thing. So it's going to be interesting the way that they do that in a comedy, if at all, where I could very, very, very easily see this taking a pretty dark turn.
Oh, yeah.
In the third act of this, where she's, I mean, you even have that one moment in the trailer where she's like, "Ow, something just hit me. What was that?" It was a helicopter, and she goes, "With a pilot?" And it's done in such this lighthearted way that it sounds like a joke, but I mean,
Like someone died.
somebody died. getting swatted on Anne Hathaway's forehead. They died.
But yeah, I'm really interested in the concept, and
Yeah, I am too.
I can't wait to see it. Honestly.
It'll be one that I see. I really like Jason Sudeikis a lot.
Oh, I know.
And it's interesting. Like I like seeing, because I feel like it's been a really long time, and I could totally be wrong about this, since we've seen Anne Hathaway in a comedy role. I feel like
It's just been a really long time since we've seen Anne Hathaway in anything. What's the most recent thing she's been in?
Has she done anything since Interstellar?
I mean, the last thing I remember her in was Les Mis, but I'm sure she was in something like.
Interstellar was 2 years ago.
I think it's a nice pairing to Jason Sudeikis with Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, it's
like,
good. It makes the comedy come out a lot easier. I feel like to have such a cemented comedic actor in the form of Jason Sudeikis next to something a little bit, maybe not like cemented into the dramatics, but more of a Spectre actress.
Yeah, she
for
definitely
sure.
embodies a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
dramatic
And I
stuff.
think Sudeikis is a really nice link there to try to get the comedy kind of rolling. He's the bridge to get Anne Hathaway over to the comedy. We've seen her do comedy before.
Yeah, I remember The Princess Diaries. She was really funny in that movie.
Yeah, for sure. And after that, Devil Wears Prada, where there was a fair bit of comedy. That was like a weirder comedy.
It was
It
more
was
like
more dramedy.
comedy was more in the subject
dramedy,
of it.
yeah, dramedy, but definitely like a comedic role.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, exciting stuff.
yeah, I think it's very exciting.
Do we have a release date for this?
I don't believe we have a release date in theaters this April.
April.
April. Yeah,
Think
That's
that
pretty
month.
soon.
and there's already it's been they had the trailer covered and all the the film festival logos. Like it went all over at every film festival basically. It went pretty big.
Wow.
Wow, that's really
So that's one to be excited about.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that trailer for the first time a while ago. Actually, the reason why I brought this up isn't necessarily because this is they actually did just put on a more recent trailer, but that is an older one from December-ish. I think it happened over winter break.
Oh well, this reminds me. I think there's a new King Kong movie coming out.
There is a new King Kong movie coming out, the Skull Island one.
Yeah, I'd seen a trailer for it.
It had some
a week or two ago.
really really cool posters that I saw.
Oh yeah, no, they've had some good visuals made.
Yeah.
For it.
Is
They did
it
look
is it a
good.
Peter Jackson film?
I don't think
No.
so. That would be very weird if they had Peter Jackson, because Peter Jackson did
He did the one that's from
yeah.
like 10 years ago, maybe.
from 2004, I think.
Yeah,
something
that
like
one.
I don't believe Peter Jackson's tied to that. That would be really because
Because-
it's another retelling. It's Skull Island again.
Yeah,
It's only King Kong.
the rendering of King Kong looks similar to.
It does. I think that's just kind of like the style that they're going for.
You can only do so much with King Kong.
Exactly. Yeah. There's only so many different ways to get a big monkey on screen. Okay, so we're gonna. I guess we're gonna move on to the next one then.
Yeah, sure.
Seems to come to a lull here. Next one they're gonna be watching is The House. We'll be right back.
Seems to check out.
Do this math. You're 40 years old and you go to jail for 20 years. How old are you when you get out?
90,
No.
100.
Honey.
If I have some scratch paper, I can figure it out.
And we're back after seeing the House trailer. Brian, what's your fucks review?
I'm willing to bet it's a decent movie.
It looks pretty run of the mill.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a funny concept.
Yeah.
You see, I feel like every single Will Ferrell movie is mediocre, but
Yeah.
his presence alone makes it a little funnier than just.
And with
okay.
Amy Poehler, like
I love Amy
I
Poehler
love
so
Amy
much. And oh my god, and I'm being such an asshole. I can't remember his name, but the guy that plays Rafi from the league, Jason Mantzoukas is his name. The dude with the big beard and the funny voice. I love Jason Mantzoukas so much. He's hilarious.
I think honestly, like seeing them all three on screen, you can see the chemistry like almost right away. And it's,
Yeah,
it
for
works
sure.
out
It
very
fits.
well.
It fits. It's interesting seeing like the power couple of Amy Poehler and Will Ferrell because I feel like it's weird. Maybe not weird, but not too common that you take like the comedy couple in a movie and actually have both of them be like powerhouse comedic actors. You know,
Yeah.
where usually they just gotta take
They take
random actress and random actress is Will Ferrell's wife, basically, as opposed to Amy Poehler, where Amy Poehler I am positive will be in complete competition for stealing all the light from Will Ferrell. I'm sure the spotlight that is.
And the premise to it, honestly, it's like you said, it's not a bad idea. It's a really.
It's not a bad idea.
It's a good
It's
one.
not. I mean, you need.
I feel like
stretch with it.
it's like relatable enough to people, especially those like with parents like,
Yeah.
that are paying for college.
It's basically just like funny Breaking Bad in a way, right?
Funny Breaking Bad,
Or
or The Hangover for parents.
Or the Hangover, the responsible Hangover. maybe not the responsible Hangover. Maybe the slightly more moral Hangover.
Can you be hungover responsibly?
Probably not. Depends on what you do before the hangover, I guess.
Well, I wouldn't know because I black out half the time.
Good deal.
But yeah, really excited to see it. Great concept.
I'm not sure it's one that I'm like willing to go and shell out. I'm not gonna shell out theater dollars for
Put it this way.
but
I don't think anyone's gonna say that this is their favorite movie
That's
after
true.
watching it.
This is
No,
like a
no, no,
this is
no,
like a
no.
date night movie. This is like a movie you go see
Yeah,
when you're like
That's
things
good.
are going good.
yeah.
Just
Nice
don't
little,
go
like,
when you're like in trouble or something, because like that's not gonna save you.
It's like a dude friendly rom com.
A dude from-
A dude friendly rom com.
a date with your bro.
Bromance.
There you go.
Oh my lord.
a perfect movie for your bro dates.
A perfect movie
Dates.
for that heterosexual man. You just want to let him know that
for,
you're
for that heterosexual man in your life. Oh my lord. Okay, so that one has been. There's just not a lot to talk about with that one. It's pretty run of the mill for what it seems like. At least the trailer was pretty run of the mill. I wouldn't be complaining if I was surprised, but I mean the trailer just kind of looked like a Will Ferrell movie to me.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing, but
It's not a bad thing.
It's just a mediocre thing.
it is an acceptable thing, and that is the highest praise that I'm capable of giving.
Yeah.
All right.
With some good star power in there.
I would say the
That's true.
best Will Ferrell movie I ever saw was the Lego movie.
The Lego movie was pretty amazing.
I don't know if that's a good movie. It's not a good Will Ferrell movie.
No, which is the
The Lego movie is very distinctly not a Will Ferrell movie.
No,
But I think that's why I appreciate it.
which is the movie where he plays like that character that's literally like made up by the writer and like she takes.
Stranger Than Fiction.
I
love
that
Stranger Than
That is
Fiction.
my
It's fantastic.
favorite movie.
It's fantastic.
It is hilarious. And
My vote, and apparently I'm in the minority for this one because I seem to be the only one that actually likes this movie. But I love The Other Guys.
I like the other guys. Yeah, I thought it was like.
I really like The Other Guys. And when I say that that's one of my favorite Will Ferrell movies, I've often met with disapproval. Oh man. All right, so that one seems to be pretty done and done. We're going to move on a little bit and talk about some awards.
Award
The one that
time.
seems to keep coming up, I guess it's one that's in high contention. It's one that's coming up in the news even more than like the Best Picture and the stuff that I really would expect to. But Best Animated, Kubo just took home the BAFTA for that,
Yeah, Kubo.
which is awesome.
Beat out Moana and
Beat out Moana and Zootopia,
Zootopia.
which were the big surprises of that one, I'm sure.
you beat out 2 Disney movies. Ooh,
I
there's
d-
something to talk about there.
I guess this is a pretty tough year in terms of competition for
It's
animated films.
I want to say that it's the longest list of nominations ever for the animation category.
I wouldn't be
so.
surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
I want to say there's like close to 20 names on that list.
That's a
Damn.
big list.
I had seen Moana and I thought it was good, and I had seen Kubo and I thought it was fantastic. But I can't speak for Zootopia.
I saw Zootopia.
I enjoyed Zootopia
I
thoroughly.
thoroughly
I
enjoyed Zootopia.
fully expect Zootopia to be the one to take it home. Not necessarily because I think it's a better movie than
Kubo.
Kubo. There were close to 20 people who applied for it, by the way.
Wow.
The bottom 5 nominations that came out were Kubo, Zootopia, Moana, The Red Turtle, and My Life as a Zucchini.
I had not
I-
heard
The
those.
latter 2 of which I know nothing about.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say about my life as a
I have
zucchini
no opinion one way
because
or
I am a
another.
human,
Because
so
I
I
am a
wouldn't
human.
know any better.
Some notable ones that didn't make it on there, by the way, were
I feel like there was a Kung Fu Panda movie that came out this year, maybe.
Kung Fu Panda 3 came out like
Was it last year?
I think it was
Kung
last
Fu
year.
Panda 3 did not make it on the list. I have here the nominees being those names that I just mentioned. A couple of misses, the top 5 misses. Sausage Party, Your Name, and Finding Dory are the big ones there.
Oh, Finding Dory.
Finding Dory, yeah.
That swept in the box
It
office.
did. It
it
made
did.
a lot of money. I didn't hear that many super high opinions of it.
I saw it and I thought it was all right, but I didn't think it was
All right
up to
isn't what you're
Pixar's
looking.
standard.
Yeah, all right isn't
Yeah.
what you're looking for in not only Pixar's reputation, as I feel like it hasn't been at its tops lately. You know, they have a
Yeah,
couple
it's
misses.
strange.
Yeah.
But as far as all right isn't good enough for a Finding Nemo sequel, right?
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the real issue.
Especially after how many years and yeah, just not really working out. But who knows? Maybe they'll be on the upswing soon.
A couple other big names that I'm seeing mentioned here that didn't make the nomination: Trolls, Sing,
Troll.
Se-
Oh yeah, Troll.
The Secret Life of Pets, Storks, Angry Birds.
Yeah, all those movies don't sound
Yeah.
like they were very substantive.
See, I worked at McDonald's when we were selling toys for The Secret Life of Pets and Angry Birds, and I can tell you firsthand, kids might have loved them, everyone else hated them.
Yeah, exactly. I think that the criteria to be either nominated or win an award is it has to have some kind of appeal
Yeah.
for older audiences.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And that's usually why Pixar sweeps the category.
Because it's very sentimental.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to complain about it not being nominated, but I enjoyed Sing. I thought it was good. That's about the best I'm willing to offer. It's not in competition with Kubo and Zootopia by any stretch, but I
The
enjoyed
commercials still scare me.
Yeah.
Something
They came out of nowhere. Like
Commercials just play all the time.
I just remember one day I'm watching a video. I think it was something to do with like robots or something, and then that thing shows up, and I'm trying to watch other things, and then that trailer shows up.
Yeah,
It's
really.
like on the YouTube videos that are like 30 minutes long and
Oh,
they have
yeah.
ads like every 4 minutes. It's just like sing.
That's the
sing,
worst.
Sing.
My YouTube Red trial thing ran out a couple months ago, and I'm dying horrible. My life is such a struggle, guys. You don't understand.
It's okay. It's okay.
I don't see Kubo taking the Oscar for this one. I really see this going to Zootopia.
I wish it would.
I wish it would.
I don't know if
I
it
don't
will.
wish it would. I enjoyed the story. Like,
I don't
Kubo-
know. I feel like
I mean,
Kubo
Kubo-
was so unique. That
Visually.
yeah.
I love it.
but only visually.
Wait,
I feel like the
but think
story
about it.
is
It's
just.
animation. Animation is more for the visuals. Like,
It
be
is,
honest
but
with
I mean, can
Do you
have.
feel like Zootopia really had that much of a more complex and engaging plot than Kubo did?
Oh Jesus, my phone's going off. I'm so sorry. Complex, no. No. Okay, we're back. I don't know what the hell just happened. My audition just freaked out and stopped doing things, and so there's going to be a little bit of a weirdness going on in the middle of this one. We're just going to kind of keep everything up to date and kind of link these two parts together by saying that I guess our general opinions are. I think we kind of all came to the conclusion that we think that Zootopia is going to be the one to take the Oscar, right? Do you foresee Zootopia? Do you foresee Kubo actually pulling the Oscar?
I think it's got potential
Okay.
to actually take it.
You want to see it at the very least.
Because I feel like it's one of those films that even if people don't see it, if they see a trailer for it, they're going to go, oh, this is really unique. I think that this should win.
Oh, for
because
sure.
I want to make some kind of statement.
Okay.
Although I feel like that could work in Zootopia's
It could.
advantage as well.
It could. So now you're all caught up. We're gonna move on to the next thing. The next thing in this case being we're gonna talk about The Incredibles, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think are we all like equally? Because I am so excited for The
I
Incredibles.
loved the original.
yeah, the original is pretty good.
I don't think it's a stretch to call The Incredibles my favorite Pixar film.
I think I have to agree with you.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite,
Okay.
but I did like it a lot.
Okay, I expected you to disagree with me just because
You see, I think it's unique because
Uh-huh.
up until that point, I really don't think Pixar movies are centered around human characters.
not that I can think of.
I mean, Toy Story a little bit with Andy and
Yeah,
Of
maybe.
course, but like the
Very-
story through the toy.
Definitely not the focus. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely not the focus.
But I think that's interesting because it was kind of something different for Pixar to do, and they just
Yeah,
nailed
for sure.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys know the backstory behind the sequel to this one, but the reason why I'm especially excited about this is because Brad Bird, the writer
Yeah.
and director of the original, was very particular in the fact that he said he was never going to work on Incredibles 2 until he had a worthy successor. And as a result, I've been excited about this ever since the
Oh,
first
I'm
announcement.
pumped.
Yeah, just because of that information.
I think that The Incredibles was the perfect combination of really interesting aesthetics and fantastic throwback music.
It's a good. Throwback is a very, very good word to describe The Incredibles.
Yeah.
I love the way they brought like the characters to life, especially because you think about it, these are like old-fashioned, superhero type
Yeah.
people, and it was like really cool to see them in a Pixar movie in like a Pixar way.
It really felt like a good modern interpretation of the
Exactly.
way that comics portrayed heroes in like the 50s.
Like I remember there's that scene where they talk about like designing the suit, and the lady says like, "No capes." Why? Because they all died from their
all
capes. And like, that kind of humor was really what made it like, such a great movie.
I think that this kind of almost complex, almost tricky plot line with The Incredibles, where these are people who had their glory days and now they're
Yeah.
kind of I feel like it's more interesting, and I feel like that's why The Incredibles was such a good movie compared to other Pixar movies that came out, like Cars 2. It's
Yeah.
just like they're cars, they're kind of cool.
It's a lot less. It's a lot less on the nose for sure.
We don't know how they get gas. We're not explaining this.
Why
No,
are
but
they
if-
murdering each other in the bathroom?
If the original creator of The Incredibles feels like this is worthy of pursuing, then I take his word for
I'll
it.
take his word on it.
And I'm curious to see, because we have no information about this really. The information that inspired me to write it about this, by the way, and incorporate this into the show is that Sam Jackson teased/confirmed that he's going to be back as Frozone.
Yeah.
Which is cool to hear, just because I think we all like the sound of Sam Jackson's voice, but Frozone wasn't that big of a deal in the first film.
Actually, he just wasn't in the movie, so I really want to see Frozone
Yeah.
in there.
I mean, he was like he had a big part
He
in the
had
final
his
battle
parts,
there,
but,
and he was is his name Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bob. Bob's like bowling buddy, right?
Yeah.
At the beginning of the film.
I love The Incredibles.
I love The Incredibles too, man. It's been way too long since I've seen that film. I'm gonna have to do some kind of a rewatch leading up to the.
Syndrome's dead, isn't he?
Did Syndrome die?
Yeah,
No, there's no way
his
Syndrome
cape
died.
got caught in the thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did die because of the cape.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
That's heavy shit right there.
It's heavy shit.
Just say that out loud in the theater.
just standing up in front of the theater, head bowed down, like hands crossed in front of you, taking like a moment of silence for Syndrome. Nobody's allowed to watch the film until you've taken your moment of silence for Syndrome.
He wasn't
You do
actually
every
a
day.
bad guy. He was just
He
misunderstood.
was very misunderstood. He was, oh, poor guy.
Hey,
Um,
they said no capes, and he put on a cape. I'm not feeling bad for him. It's his own fault.
He was warned. He wasn't warned. He didn't get the lecture from Edna.
He could have
It's
watched
not
the
his
movie.
fault. It's not his fault. Syndrome did nothing wrong.
I hope they
Although-
bring Edna back though.
He was
There's
kind.
no way Edna's not coming back.
He was kind of egotistical to get a cape in the first place.
He was, yeah. Well, that was the point. He
How
was,
many villains have capes? Now that I think about it.
Villains?
not a ton. I feel
Villains
like
are
a cape,
too smart for capes.
yeah,
That's
villains
true.
know what's up.
Yeah.
I feel like capes are
Except
distinctly
for Syndrome.
yeah,
'Cause
except
he's-
for Syndrome.
he's a
Syndrome
poser.
because he thinks he's a hero.
Yeah.
That was the whole point. Is he wanted to be a hero.
Little fucking stupid like laser
With
thing.
Yeah,
Little
like,
boop boops.
Useless.
I had thoughts, no longer. I know. We know next to nothing about what's going on with this, and I'm curious what you guys are expecting / hoping as far as like time frame, story, anything. Because the time frame I think is the most interesting question leading up to
Yeah,
this.
I mean, what's going to happen with the kids? Are they going to be grown up?
Because we're gonna have to see
Yeah.
grown up Jack, right?
Oh,
Is it
that's
gonna
weird.
involve grown up Jack?
I mean, because I remember when like the first movie ended. What was it like the Mole Man?
The Undermine.
The
The
Underminer.
Underminer.
They
It
made
just
a
comes
video-
out of
They made a
nowhere.
video game about that.
Really?
Yeah, they made a video
Yeah,
game
they
called
did.
The Rise of the Underminer, where you fought the Underminer.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's buy a PlayStation. I'm gonna play that game. Later.
I wonder if he'll have anything to do with the movie. if
There's
he-
no way. He was a gag. He was a gag. It was
Be-
like,
because that's what it seemed like it was setting up for.
Mhm.
no, I think that was just supposed to be a joke.
Well, when you're young and impressionable, this
It's
seems like
that. What it is supposed to be. It's a two-part thing. First of all, it's a joke with his stupid like, "You may be above me, or you may be above us, but nothing is below me," or something stupid like
yeah,
that.
it was
'Cause
it
he's
was
Mole.
a cheesy line.
It was so cheesy. But the point of that is supposed to be like, it's supposed to be like an open-ended ...
yeah.
ending.
I
you
mean,
know?
I could see that.
Where it's
now.
supposed to be like, this is the official. They're going back to fighting crime. They're not going back to their boring
Well,
suburban lives. That's the point of that.
When you're little, you don't really think that in depth.
Damn it, young Dave.
When you're little,
How
you
could
don't
you be so
think
naive?
about how much money it's gonna make. You just think about, oh my god, he came out of the ground.
Just think about the cool visuals, not the dollar signs.
I think about the popcorn.
Yeah. We're gonna have to see the grown-up kids, though, right? At the very least, we're gonna have a grown-up Jack.
Of course, but if you
Not like a
get
grown-up Jack, but like a teenage Jack, right?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't know how I'd feel about that if he was grown up. I'd like to see that, but at the same time,
Not grown up. Like I'm not expecting this to go 30 years in the future, where we're like meeting Jack kids or anything. But like,
Well, it could go two ways. It could pick up right where it left off, or else it could be like 20 years in the future.
I really don't see it picking up right where it left off.
See, here's the thing with like grown up Jack. I mean, Jack's like, you know, he's cool because like he's a baby and like his tantrums like give him his superpowers. But he's a teenager. What? He's just gonna get moody at me and like throw like laser beams. Like, get out
I
of my
mean, like,
room.
what?
I mean, that
I-
might be the plot of the next movie.
I feel like that's kind of an unfair criticism, just because like we don't have enough room to know exactly what kind of person Jack
That
Jack's
is
gonna
true.
be. That's not a
Jack
fair
might
thing to
become like boring and work in an office.
say.
But
Jack's
This-
gonna become Gohan. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Jack equals Gohan.
this also risks being too similar to the first movie if that's the path that they're going to take. Because the first movie was very much centered around the family issues.
I
So
think it's
don't-
gonna be.
I don't know if they're going to bring that back. I mean, it would make logical sense if they did, but I don't know.
I'm seeing a situation where Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl are too old to be fighting crime anymore, and they have to live on the sidelines watching their kids do all the fighting.
Maybe.
I'm seeing that be the thing, where it's like kind of a coming of age story where they kind of realize that you got to pass on the torch to the new generation. Because that wasn't like, I feel like aging was a big part of the first movie, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like the big part of the first movie.
I think the
Yeah.
biggest part of the first movie was the family issues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It was them kind of coming to terms with who they are as a family and their
Yeah.
whole family dynamic. Absolutely. So I'm seeing that like becoming more of an issue just because like I think that's going to be an issue again with a different dynamic just because I mean it's a movie about a superhero family. You're going to have to kind of have family issues for it. You're going to have family issues of some kind.
Yeah, it's just
it's really just a matter of how they're presenting themselves. And I think the way that they're going to present themselves that's my best guess. I already said my thoughts, I guess. I think that's a pretty I don't know, decent theory, I guess. I just think that I don't see this sequel happening without a pretty significant gap of time happening between.
That's true.
I really don't see this happening where it just picks up right where it left
I
off.
guess I could agree with that.
Only because, like, they had such a colossal, like, Syndrome was such a colossal threat that they beat, like, decently easily, I guess, when they all, like, banded together. So you're gonna need a bigger threat. And I don't see it being a kind of thing where, like, some crazy bigger threat presents itself a week after Syndrome leaves town, you know?
Yeah,
I'm foreseeing, like, a fairly long history of, like, this crime-fighting family coming to terms again and like, superheroes becoming a bigger deal again, where they become kind of like a really big media deal and a really big kind of world-tied deal, you know? And then some kind of shattering happening after that, obviously. That's speaking in super general terms.
Now this is gonna be the next planned Pixar release.
Summer 2018.
Okay.
I'm assuming
Is there one that's
I'm
coming
sure
out?
there's going to be a 2017 Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because it seems like, just generally speaking, Pixar has been kind of not in. Oh, you know what? Cars 3 is coming out.
Cars
Yes.
3 is coming out. And
I
something
feel-
called Coco that I don't know anything about.
I feel like they're moving more towards the serious again, as opposed to.
That was
just-
made very apparent to me with the Cars 3 trailers.
Yeah.
The
Which
Cars
was-
3 marketing has been very dramatic.
What was that trailer
It
though?
was great.
That cars.
So,
Nothing.
it's going to be really, really... like, I mean, if they keep up with the way that they're doing the marketing right now, because I'm a big fan of the way that they're presenting it, but I'm going to have a really hard time coming to terms with the fact that I would be going to see another Cars movie, because Cars 2 was god-awful.
I think that's so funny because Cars 1 was like an alright movie.
That's
it
it,
was
though.
it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Cars 2 just seems like it was gimmicky and like really pandering to younger audiences.
Cars 2 was just like a marketing opportunity. They're like, you know what can we do to sell as much?
Oh, Cars 2 is absolutely...
I
There's no
got
doubt
the
about it being a marketing
Let's
opportunity.
give
Same with the
Vader
plane stuff, I'm sure.
everything.
Yeah, spy movie.
So
Like,
this
what?
this just feels like they're trying to save the reputation.
I hope they succeed. I hope they succeed.
I like the first one kind of.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's like
I was younger when I watched it. I remember enjoying it.
yeah. I remember watching that I remember them having a movie night in our elementary school. Not like our element, because you went to a different elementary school than I did, just because of the way that our school district worked. I remember watching that in a blanket and pajamas in the gymnasium of my elementary school. The first Cars movie, that is. So I guess, some sentimental ties to the Cars films. The Cars film, again, I'm pretty vocal about hating Cars 2. I think it's terrible.
I really like watching Cars just because every time I watch it, it just a big question like, okay, so the cars give each other gas.
Yeah.
Who gets the gas?
Ooh.
I just asked that question and it's like, there you go. And now I can watch this movie.
Okay. So we got some Pixar animation talk stuff out of the way. The only major stuff that I have left on my list here is, first of all, Star Wars is a thing, but I mean, there's only so much to talk about right now. All we have is a name, The Last Jedi.
And how long has that been out at this point now?
That name we've had for about, what, a week and a half-ish?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Oh really?
I thought it was
Feels
that long.
like it's been longer.
Yeah,
than
no, it's
that.
I think I thought it was only been 2 weeks.
No,
or
it's
so.
been a little longer than that. Like since last month, wasn't it?
I would side with Brian.
Yeah, at least something teasing it has been out for a while.
January 23rd, 2017,
Okay.
which is 3 weeks ago now.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
The Last
4 weeks
Jedi.
ago. 4 weeks ago now.
Which is plural, as you
It
know,
is
right?
plural. Thank you, Germany. It's
Who-
plural.
What? That makes more sense.
Yeah, it's Luke and Ray,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I assume.
Plus,
Unless-
Jedi is technically a plural term in and of itself. You don't say
Yeah.
Jedis, you say Jedi.
I mean, oh yeah. No, yeah. Gotcha.
Semantics.
Semantics. Again, only so much information to talk about that. We've talked everybody's ear off about Star Wars at this point, I think.
Oh yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing. There's a lot to talk about.
I
with
mean, I love Star
I
Wars.
love Star Wars. It's the thing.
I'm ambivalent about Star Wars.
Are you ambivalent about Star Wars?
I really like a few of them, but then some of them are not so
I feel
much.
ya.
So
See, I love them until I watched that one scene in episode 3 when Obi-Wan's telling Anakin to spy on the Chancellor, and he's just having like the worst rate. He's like, "Wait, what?" And it's like, you don't realize this dude's like trying to just like take over the whole galaxy or anything. It's like, what? Like Jesus.
Okay, but yeah, Star Wars is a thing. It's called The Last Jedi, and it's a plural, talking presumably about Luke and Rey. Moving on to the last item on this list is some box office stuff.
yeah,
Because
Oh,
we got
yes.
a lot of movies that came out this weekend.
Oh yeah.
And, like a shit ton of movies. We got the Lego Batman movie. We had
ooh,
50
I really want to see the Lego.
I kind of want to
We
see
gotta
Lego
go
Batman.
watch Lego Batman.
There's too many good like, I want to see Lego Batman. 50 Shades came out. Don't have any interest in that.
I might want to see that.
Ooh,
See, I don't
Dave.
need to watch it because I can just
Ooh.
torture myself any day of the week.
So saucy. Yeah, I know, right? just go fucking watch porn, dude. Jesus Christ.
Stick your
John
chicken
Wick 2.
toaster.
John Wick 2, which
Yes.
is the one that's at the top of my list. If I'm going to see a film that's coming out at the moment, I'm going
Yeah,
to see
John
John Wick. And then the other ones, those, by the way, top 3 grossing movies of the week in that order: Lego Batman, 50 Shades, John Wick.
Wow, Lego Batman,
Lego
Lego
Batman number 1.
Batman.
Are you saying that like you're surprised?
raking in a lot of cash.
Are you surprised?
Yeah, I am.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
It's Legos and
Yeah.
Batman. Combine the, two.
Like the Lego brand has become sacred in the world of film. In
You
a
see,
really
I
weird
think
way.
that's so interesting.
It is
because
interesting.
Lego has had
It
like
is
this
interesting, for sure.
this rekindling in popularity recently.
Yeah, it's good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Legos are the shit.
I
Legos
love
are the
Legos.
shit.
I have Legos in my room right now.
I don't have any here, but at home I have 2 walls covered in Star Wars Legos. Because I have a tradition, I guess, where get a big freaking Star Wars spaceship Lego for Christmas and build it every year. It's a good deal.
See, I remember I had a friend, and like he had like this big thing of Legos, and I remember the day I stopped being friends with him was the day I like knocked over like half.
Oh,
I was like, you're
You're a bad
supposed to
person.
rebuild them.
you're a bad person.
You have to build more. Don't just stick there. It's possibilities.
Oh, Lord. So, those are the top 3. What's interesting is that we had 2 more major releases that came out. The Great Wall and A Cure for Wellness.
That sounds familiar. What is it?
The
See, it's where they go to the sanatorium and
exactly, yeah, where there's like a young member, I don't know if he's his son or something like that, but a young like executive member of this company has to go and retrieve one of the board members from a like mental health wellness center and kind of learns that things are not exactly on the up and up, basically.
Mhm.
And it's supposed to be like this kind of psychological horror thriller thing.
Huh?
It's not doing well at the box office. It's not doing well as far as reviews are concerned.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard the name, I thought this was gonna be like another one of those like really terrible mallcore bands. And then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, I would have preferred mallcore band.
Really? You weren't up on the trailer? I think the marketing for this film has been fantastic.
It doesn't get me anymore. I don't know.
I like really cerebral is too much of a compliment, but really like
Cerebral.
Yeah.
Cerebral.
Cerebral.
Sitting here examining some art and smoking a cigarette and talking about how cerebral it all is.
Hey, eat it. I smoke cigarettes. You can take that back. Thank you very much.
I liked it though. I think that fucking with the brain is a cool plot
Oh,
device.
do you know what I forgot about?
What?
The movie that's coming out that is based in the trailer. It says it's based on an idea by Jordan Peele. Have you seen that?
Oh, Get Out.
Yeah.
Oh,
They had
that was
Get
really
Out
good.
was good. Did you watch it?
I haven't seen it. It's out now.
No, they had the advanced screening on Thursday.
Ooh, wow.
I didn't know that.
It was good.
Was it?
It was good.
I didn't
Now,
know that.
is this comedic at all?
No, not at all. It's a horror movie.
No, it's horror.
It's a horror.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But I was just like thrown off when I saw
That's
that
another one I
Jordan
really wanna
Peele's
see.
name was
That's the
attached
one
to
that's
it.
probably for me right below John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
Probably in the order of stuff that I want to see the most: John Wick, Get Out, and Cure for Wellness probably would have been at the top of that list. But all the reviews that I'm hearing have been fantastic, so it's kind of like,
You could watch it anyway.
yeah, I know, but I mean, it's just a matter of whether it's worth the dollars. Really,
Nothing's worth
Monies.
the money.
nothing's worth the dollars.
Everything's worth the money.
Everything's worth the money.
Because
Really?
if you pay for this stuff, that's basically putting a paycheck into your future self's
Yeah.
pocket.
See,
Yeah.
you say that, but I don't know, man.
Despite the fact that those 2 films just came out this week, they got beat out by a couple of long-standing ones. Split and Hidden Figures in there.
Oh, Hidden Figures was good.
Hidden
Yeah.
Figures was good.
I haven't seen Hidden Figures. I've heard great things about Split.
It's been out for a while now.
8th week.
Wow.
Split is in its 4th week. Hidden Figures in its 8th week.
Still raking in the dough.
Still raking in the dough. Fist Fight also did pretty bad.
I wasn't
Fist
expecting
Fight.
Fist Fight
I
to be
wasn't
like
either.
that great.
I love Charlie
I mean,
Day, but I mean,
Yeah, I love Charlie Day. I love Ice Cube, and I love just the whole cast they have. But
Mhm.
I thought the premise was like,
Oh
Kinda
yeah, the trailers I've seen for that don't seem compelling.
just can't picture Charlie Day as a teacher. Just doesn't fit.
I could picture him. Well, I mean, compared with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's illiterate. Now he's literate. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit of a
Like he knows how to read.
Every time that I talk about this movie with Bridget, it just becomes like, yeah, I can't really picture Charlie Day as a teacher. And then we both say, yeah, he could be like a quirky music teacher. That's basically it.
That's true.
That's basically it.
No, he'd be like a shop teacher, but like the kind of shop teacher.
I would never trust Charlie Day as
I
a shop
would so
teacher.
trust him as a.
Why would you trust Charlie as the shop teacher? That's a
Because
terrible idea.
He survived like however long he has on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, so I would totally trust him.
Survival does not equal thriving.
It does
There is a
in his
big
world.
difference between survival and thriving.
It does in his world.
Charlie survives walking down the streets by the skin of his teeth on a day-to-day basis.
Also, I would watch them just for Christina Hendricks because like she's like she's like
I got you.
my crush for the rest of my life.
gotcha.
It used to be Mandy Moore. She's been replaced. Sorry, Mandy. I still have.
I'm
I
sure
still
she's crushed.
have
I'm
a
sure
poster
she's
of Mandy
crushed.
Moore.
I'm sure she's listening.
We know you're out there.
We know you're out there, Mandy. I have to say I'm sorry. I still have a poster somewhere.
Oh my god. Staring at me in my bed as I sprawled out on your bed, staring at your ceiling. I'm just picturing like right on the top there's a Mandy Moore poster, except now you can only see the corners of it because the Christina Hendricks poster has been taped over top of it.
Yeah, that's
I think I just infiltrated Brian Sanchez's
You
mind.
pretty much just have my room
And
in my
via
parents'
proxy
house.
his room.
If you ever want to know what my room in my parents' house looks like, that's probably
That's basically, it's a pretty good summation.
And right next to it, there's this giant pile of Legos because I never put that stuff away.
How could you keep it in piles? I would be driven out of my mind if I had like loose Legos all over the place. All mine are still like sitting basically like sculptures on my.
Well, because it's the
shelves.
deterrent. I don't want people going in my room, so I put Legos everywhere.
Oh,
so
it's a
like,
security.
die.
It's a security measure. I
It's
understand.
security and it's fun.
It's a It's fun. You're sadistic.
I could step on a Lego, fall down, and then like there's more Legos. So I'm like, all right.
Oh, so
cool.
you're masochistic. Got it.
Oh,
A
yeah.
little bit of both. Little column A, little column B.
I mean, I want to hurt people and I want to hurt myself. So
yeah.
masochistic.
You are all over the spectrum. You are a varied individual.
Oh yeah, Legos.
Lego. Speaking of Lego, we're gonna end this here, I think.
That's up to you.
I think on my list, basically. I just saw Lego, thought I should take advantage of it, but now we've gone on too long and it doesn't matter.
Well, tune in next time to find out about next week's news.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon
I went there.
Ball
I
Fuck
went there.
Z. Dragon Ball Fuck Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Is that a new porn?
Tune in next week on Dragon Ball Z. Have a good day.